From Madden 12 to Madden 16, I was Ultimate Team fiend. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It wasn't even just Madden either. 2K My Team, I was on Diamond Dynasty too. Like, I was just, if it had some type of card collecting mode in that time period, I would be there no matter what. But the one thing that stuck out to me the most out of all these games I played was that Madden has some of the most outrageous cards I have ever seen. It's the off season. Tebow, fresh off of Tebow Mania. It's the height of his popularity. And the Broncos said, hey bro, we like what you're doing, but we gonna sign Peyton Manning and we're gonna trade you to the Jets. I'm sorry about that. So now the Tim Tebow hype has transferred to the Jets and he's hopeful for a good season. EA saw this and said, oh yeah, it's time for a new card. So for our Easter promo, EA decided to revolve it around Tim Tebow. And this is the fakest looking card in Madden Ultimate Team history. I don't know how else to put it. This don't look real. They took a random PNG of an egg and just slapped it on a card. Anyway, this one suspicious looking card is the entire Easter promo for Madden 12 Ultimate Team. And looking at the card, you know, it's only a 92 overall quarterback. A card like this, by this point in the game, it didn't really have any utility. There was 99 overall quarterbacks day one of the game. But that's not where the value of this card came from. The value comes from the fact that this one fake looking card could grant you over 40 plus rewards. You see, the purpose of this card was to act more so as a key than it is to act as a usable player card. So if you was just randomly ripping packs around the time period that this promo was going on, and you see this up in your pack, you flip the card over and on the back it says, hey, just trust us, keep the card for like a week, we got you. You would then hopefully listen, keep the card, wait a week, and then boom, a new collection pops up. And in this collection, there's only one card you needed to put in it, and it was this Tebow. You put it in, you complete it, and when you get back, like 18 plus cards, plus another key. And then you take that key and you put it into another collection and you get like 18 more cards. And then you take the key that comes with those 18 cards and you put it into another collection. And that collection also gives you 10 cards. I sound crazy. I'm not gonna lie, I sound crazy. I promise you this happened. There was an egg in packs, you had to pull it. Long story short, this became one of the most valuable cards, if not the most valuable card in the game you could pull in packs. Mainly because of the fact that it rewarded you with over 40 plus players. And a lot of those players were high overall. And you can trade in those same cards to get even better cards. Low-key kind of confusing way to do it, but you get hella rewards. Unfortunately though, they changed Tim Tebow's picture from the egg to just him at the press conference. I'm not too sure when they did it. I want to say around the time the collection actually dropped. 2013, the draft combine is here, and a certain commercial airs. A commercial of Mr. Leon Sandcastle. If you haven't seen it before, basically Deion wants to enter into the draft, but he can't because, you know, he already played. So he makes up alter ego, calls himself Leon Sandcastle, gives himself a big afro and the nastiest mustache. One of the nastiest mustaches I've seen. And the whole commercial is him just going through all the workouts and breaking records and getting drafted by the Chiefs. Hall of Fame commercial. Now where things get crazy is that EA saw this just like with Tebow and said, hey, new team, new me. EA dropped 3 Leon Sandcastles in the game as part of an NFL Combine promo. And unlike with the Tebow card, the stats on this is crazy. They're giving him 100s just to give him 100 speed, 100 acceleration, 100 coverage stats. If you look at the free safety and cornerback versions, like I said, 100 coverage stats, and they gave him decent tackling. He's shutting down whole sides of the field. You better off just run at him and hope he gets pancake, or you just hope that you truck him with like a crazy running back or something. But the most interesting of these 3 cards would have to be the quarterback version, because it was only limited to 50. Only 50 of these existed in the whole game. And of course he has 100 speed and 100 excel. You know what's going on. Now in an attempt to balance this, his throwing stats aren't all that good, which good. Him being limited to 50 and having not so good throwing stats, I think that was a good move because nobody wants to deal with that. Every game, could you imagine having to deal with this? Read option every game with a bin drop kick by PS3. I don't care if he can't throw 50 yards down the field. The fact that he can throw a drag route or a slant when he's in trouble, that's horrible. That's horrible for me. Also, Leon is actually in Madden 25 as an Easter egg in one of the draft classes. I don't think there's a specific way to trigger it. It just kind of happens. You just gotta RNG it out. The original Madden 25, there was a certain left tackle in the league, really good player. By the end of his career, he had 3 Pro Bowls. You know, he's 6'5", 300 plus pounds. Yeah, somebody made him a tight end, and again, gave him good receiving stats. We talking about Donald Penn right now, thanks to the golden ticket promo. But in this game, I think there was some type of Madden Invitational where like the winners of like this tournament got access to a golden ticket. So basically you win the tournament and you get to make your dream player. But as you can imagine, making somebody at 6'5", 300 plus pounds a tight end when they're already a really good lineman, malicious things started brewing. Because when you have this card in your lineup and you're playing the game, no matter what formation you in with a tight end on the field, you basically have 6 offensive linemen. So the run game is just on steroids. And you think he'd be mad slow, but they gave him 85 speed. That's not horrible. And they gave him decent receiver stats too. Like he could run a little route. You're not gonna be throwing streaks down the field to him like he Randy Moss, but like he can get you a little flat route, a little sail route. He can get you something. And since he's a tight end, you already know they buffed up the trucking stats, the stiff arm. He a tank. Good luck. But let me tell you, back in this iteration of Ultimate Team, you used to could run dupes, multiple of the same card in your lineup. You see where I'm going with this? If you had hella coins and you were just an unethical player, which I ain't gonna lie, running the ball behind Donald Penn do sound kind of fun. Let's not talk about it. Listen, you would buy multiple of these Donald Penns, run one at tight end, one at fullback, one at wide receiver. Congratulations, you now have the most out-of-pocket run game of all time. Now, I honestly don't remember how viable this was to truly do, but from what I can gather and just looking at the stats of this card, if someone stops your run game, you're cooked. Cause what you gonna do? You can't really throw the ball. He not running routes. He not Isaac Bruce with it. I remember usually going against one. I remember running one for a little bit myself. Regardless, bro became a legendary Ultimate Team card due to his utility as a blocker and a catcher. Now to move on to potentially the most broken card, it's just any version of Calvin Johnson as a free safety, just in any game. Let me lay this out for you. Calvin Johnson, Hall of Fame wide receiver, 6'5", can jump out the building. EA decided to give him a free safety card to put him in the hands of the user pick demons. His worst card was a 70 overall. If you were nice on the sticks with him, causing nightmares to everybody. His coverage stats are buns, but you're supposed to user him. That's where the real value of the 70 overall came from. You know, if that's not crazy enough for you, yeah, somebody made a golden ticket of him. Yeah, so now he's a 99. Now I forgot to mention, this is just Madden 25. This is going down there. So the same year, Donald Penn and Calvin Johnson got a golden ticket. 2 legendary cards. With Donald Penn, I feel like anybody could use him and have some success. With Calvin Johnson, you know, you gotta know what you're doing being a user at free safety. Because user in the middle linebacker, a little bit easier. You just gotta worry about the middle of the field. Free safety, you mess up, oh, you're cooked. That's a TD. No matter who you got, if you don't make the right read as a safety or a corner user, it's over. Now, thankfully, there was only 100 of them available at Madden 25. So, just like with Leon Sandcastle, you didn't have to run into him 24/7 because it was kind of rare. But yeah, out of all the cards that I mentioned so far, this is probably the most popular one because it kind of became a tradition to have Calvin as a defensive back of some sort in every Ultimate Team since Madden 25. And for what I can find, the only time where he doesn't have a defensive back card is in Madden 17. So just like Donald Penn, he became a legend of the game. Now, I mentioned before, my interest in the games fell off after around 2016. I slowly started playing less and less. In fact, the last Ultimate Team I remember playing was Madden 20, and I played it for like about a month or 2 before just dropping it. But since looking back on all these outrageous cards, it's made me want to look at what's going on in current day Ultimate Team. And yeah, y'all got it. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good off that. There's a 6'8" linebacker called Harold Carmichael. First of all, 6'8", I can only imagine the amount of nasty animations he gets. Probably jumps 50 feet in the air and picks off any pass you throw towards him. Randy Moss at right outside linebacker. What are we doing? And he's a golden ticket. Other dude, he was just like a Christmas card. Calvin Johnson, left outside linebacker, golden ticket. There's like 6 different Bo Jackson cards at different positions. There's 3 on offense, 3 on defense. 98 overall Roman Reigns. Y'all got the damn tribal chief in the game. I don't even know what's the craziest one here. The 6'8" dude at linebacker, Randy Moss linebacker, or Roman Reigns. So like, did he do the Superman punch in this game too, or?